and look at his tenure with the San Francisco 49ers, it wasn't just one guy making a play on the ball. It was 11. And the
Yeah.
intensity was from quarter 1 to quarter 4. I think me and you both saw a good sign of that on the scrimmage on Saturday, where the intensity was just there the entire time, regardless on how tired it was. I think that's one of the most things that I'm excited for, is to see, a Houston Texans led team by head coach D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah, man. I mean, D'Amico is going to be effervescent. He's been everywhere on that field with training camp, working with all the guys. Man, dude. I mean, the comment section is jacked. They are
Mhm.
ready. They are hyped. Everything is set up for tomorrow, and it's only preseason. It is only preseason. Just imagine, hey, man, we're only a few weeks away from regular season football.
Mm.
And don't that get you excited, man? I know, it's the Baltimore Ravens. We're gonna see what the Texans are cooking this Thursday. Tomorrow, we're gonna see what they cooking. We're gonna see what ingredients they got. Overall, we're gonna see what do they got in the fridge, what they got in the
Mm.
freezer. All right, but once it's week one against the Ravens, how you gonna see the plan, and then you're gonna see, how they're gonna put this dish together,
Mm.
how they gonna set it up. They're gonna be like damn the bear on Hulu, bro. Like they're gonna serve it up clean just like that. Shout out to the bear on Hulu. If
Very good
anybody's
show.
watched the bear, have you watched the bear?
I
Huh?
finished it a couple of weeks ago. My favorite episode was when the family was doing the Christmas cooking scene, and it
Mm-hmm.
was Jamie Lee Curtis just put on a fantastic, performance,
She's just a
where
great
you just
actress.
felt how intense it was, and it was all one camera shot.
That's
Shout out to me.
crazy.
I took a little movie course in college where I know this stuff.
Ooh,
Um,
look at you.
so is the game at 6 or at 7?
Shoot, I don't even know. I guess it's at 6. Usually it's like an on time,
Mm.
but yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I was just gonna Google it tomorrow and and get it ready. So it
Yeah,
is what
some
it
people
is.
are saying it's on the NFL Network and not locally. I don't think that's
No, it's always locally.
always.
Always.
Yes,
Preseason is always locally, and the regular season too. I don't.
it's locally unless it's
Yeah,
yeah, it is local.
ABC's gonna play it. It's gonna be fun, dude. No Spencer Tillman.
Dude, I was just about to. Okay,
No offense
bro.
to him.
No
No
offense,
offense to him.
dog. Because I've been listening, dude. He's not good, and
Ooh,
he's not. He's good at college football. I'll give him that. Very good. But when
all
he
I
gets to
think
the
of.
NFL, one of the favorite phrases that me and my dad always laugh at is he says, "There it is," right? So he'll
Yep.
call a defensive formation, and as soon as the either the defense or the offense is running with it, he'll say, "There it is." And some of the times the play would just won't work. There was one moment where J.J. Watt was coming back and he was nowhere near the play, and Spencer Tillman says, JJ Watt is on fire right now, changing the game. It's just I could do without Spencer Tillman, man.
Yeah. Look, this is how we're gonna introduce everyone to the Believe in Texans podcast. All I think of is that Oklahoma game where he's with that broadcaster, and they just had a big play, Oklahoma, huge play, and the guns are firing, for Oklahoma, and this broadcaster is so hyped next to Spencer Tillman, he gets behind him, and oh yeah, you know exactly what I'm doing. He gyrates his whole body onto Spencer Tillman, and he got a good hold of Spencer Tillman. Let me tell you. Let me talk to you. Shout out to LA
Tell
Knight. Oh yeah, yeah. He grabs a hold of Spencer Tillman. It looked like a one-on-one class of what happens in the penitentiary. It was just he had Spencer. He was humping Spencer. Okay, I can say that. He was dry humping Spencer Tillman. God, man, that was disgusting. I was like, what am I looking at? It was
hmm
crazy. Spencer, you gonna let that man do that to you? That's disrespectful. And that is how we introduce everybody to the Believe in Texans podcast.
As always, I am one part Ruben Calvillo, and I am joined by the handsome man as ever, Harley Dugan. Shout out to Spencer Tillman. We didn't mean to catch your body, but I just did not like him in the preseason, man. But who is going to be replacing him?
Indy Kalu. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Ash
Dude,
shows up 5-2 right now, putting the
Yep.
business on the Orioles. Hey, King Tuck, go ahead, grand slam, pay the man.
dude, you got to pay him. The Houston Astros, they know the importance of Kyle Tucker, and they know the importance, man. He is very important to the outfield and to overall the team's success. So, yeah, man, grand salami, basically to win the game. Called the shot on Felix Bautista. The guy's been the best closer in all of baseball. He had a long shot to be a Cy Young. That's how good he was as a closer. So Kyle Tucker just made that long shot. No. He got that away. All right.
And gets another homer today.
Jesus, my goodness. 7-2 now, apparently. Alex Bregman's doing some things because the group chat's going crazy right now.
Who was it?
Alex Bregman, apparently. I don't know exactly what happened. Group chat's going crazy. They're saying Dusty is him, so you know they're going crazy.
The Dusty slander is crazy. What is going on, JV? He said he's hyped for tomorrow. We are too. Did you see the kind words from Pat McAfee? If not, I could play it here.
About CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just show it, guys. For those of you who haven't seen, this is what Colts punter said about.
Hey,
he's firing it.
Yeah, some young receivers too that are exciting to watch.
Yeah, Mechie, the kid from Bama who was out all last year because he was sick.
The only good guy on Iowa State's entire offense last year and wasn't betting on games. Their wide receiver was really good. They have the Tank Dell, I believe, from Houston. They have good. They took these wide receivers in college who were big time numbers guys, performers, but we're on teams that you don't know them as much. I'm excited to see those dudes too.
I've been watching CJ highlights there. He looks the part. We got a chance to
shout
get
out to the lead for putting the highlights
for him
on there.
playing against Georgia.
Yeah.
And the conversation was this guy doesn't use his athleticism. How's his leadership? All this type of stuff. They're trying to knock everything about everybody because there's billions of dollars on the line in the NFL. But whenever they were talking about it, you watch this guy play though. I mean, he's big, he moves, and he's got a high.
Yeah. Throws darts.
I mean, that is
accurate.
That's what everybody talks about him. And our first takeaway on Sunday after watching him in that Georgia-Ohio State game in the college football playoff from the sideline was that's a Sunday. Mm-hmm. That right there is a Sunday guy.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the conversation started talking about his Q2 or whatever, all this other stuff. And Houston's still our guy.
Don't care.
What if he becomes...
Oh, he could, for sure.
And that's the NFL conversation with it going up and to the right. Is the talent now is really good. Not even including the rookies, but if Bryce Young and Stroud come in and they're both studs, then all of a sudden there are actually 15.
Richardson. And D'Amico. D'Amico is the player coach, bro. And he got a lot of guys that's played football that's coaching now. I even seen J. Joe on the sideline the other day. I called him at the practice. I'm like, man, what is the vibe there?
Who's this?
Jonathan Joseph, who played with me.
Oh, yeah.
He actually played with the Texans.
Yeah,
I thought you were calling J.J. Watt J-Joe.
Yeah.
No, J. Joe.
That's on me. I thought it was
he's
four
there.
different people I can't remember. I had no idea.
Yeah, he's there coaching the corners. He just said it's a good vibe. And when you got a good vibe and you got some younger guys that's believing in the system and you don't have too many older guys that's going against the new things, I think it can turn out pretty good.
So that is fascinating to hear because there is I spoke with a couple front office.
Look at Pac-Man give us some great
from
insight.
around the league.
Is this front office members or is this not JPA football front office members?
Okay, so you guys are still hating on the next wave of NFL Twitter.
100%.
It sounds like I don't know. I don't know who JPA or ML or NFL rookie.
All right, we'll go ahead and just stop it there. But some great words from Pat McAfee. Some great words from Pac-Man Jones, man. It feels good that the Houston Texans are finally getting some recognition in the media.
Look, man, it was just maybe about a month ago or maybe a month and a few weeks ago. But Pac-Man Jones, Shout out to Pac-Man Jones. He used to be on TNA way back in the day with R-Truth. They won the tag team titles. That's
Wow,
insane.
he did. Remember Perk Angle on TNA?
Mm. Perk Angle, baby. Look, man. Pac-Man Jones said about a month ago to bring this back, Texans related. He thinks that the Houston Texans could win the division.
Mm.
That was a hot take. And hey, Pat McAfee listened. AJ Hawk listened. And then, looking at the rest of the division, he's wondering how much did the Jaguars improve. He's wondering what are the Colts. And then this is the Colts with Jonathan Taylor. Now they don't have Jonathan Taylor.
Mm.
And he's wondering what are the Titans gonna do. Pac-Man Jones was a Titan, by the way. And he's saying the Texans could win the division. We're getting some national media love, unlike Colin Cowherd.
Man, him and his
The whole chat's gonna
co-host
go crazy.
went in on our ass for hiring D'Amico and then in the draft getting CJ and trading Will. Now they want to do a whole 180 a couple of months, and I mean, this is the bandwagon that we were talking about, Harley.
Yeah.
This was the people who haven't been here since day one and really saw this rebuild and saw this team get at the lowest of the lows. So seeing Colin Howard just make a fool out of himself over his takes about the Texans, it's new, obviously, but it doesn't surprise me. Right? Looking for the hot take, man.
That's what we're not new to this. We live in the city of Houston where the national media loves to trash on the city of Houston. They love it. They can't get enough of it. They just despise us. Whenever it's the Rockets and James Harden in that whole era, James Harden was cooking people.
Bro,
People.
What he did to Johnson on the Clippers broke his ankles, and he looked down at him and just splashed it in his face.
Lick the lips and then splash it in his face. The haters hated, national media hated the Rockets. They hate capital H, capital A, capital T, capital E. They hate the America's team of the two-time defending champs, Houston Astros. All right, they hate them. And then we go to our Texans, and they hate the Houston Texans. All right, they believe the ownership is the biggest reason as to why we no longer have the redacted quarterback that was here before. There is no fault toward him whatsoever.
Massage Watson.
It is all the ownership fault, and it is all, oh, well, we're the butt of every joke. The Texans are the butt of every joke. Oh, well, you need a trade to happen? Just call up the Texans. They'll give you anything. We're the butt of it. I understand it. We got a lot of heat because of the DeAndre Hopkins trade with Bill O'Brien. We got a lot of heat because of the Laramie Tunsil trade that Bill O'Brien made. And ultimately that became what the Dolphins have built a statue of Laramie Tunsil because they got all of these players because of the Laramie Tunsil trade. And then my immediate question to them is, congratulations. But my immediate question is, how many Lombardis you got since that trade?
0.
Y'all were in the dumpster as much as we were. Interesting. Okay. I digress. The city of Houston has been despised by national media. This is nothing new. The Houston Texans continue to get despised. While they were the dolls of the pageant for a few days, few weeks. A lot of people hate that trade that we made all the way up to get the Terminator, Area 51, Mr. Will Anderson himself. A lot of people hated that trade. I could see a point as to why. But overall, the national media is going to do what the national media does, and it's going to hate the city of Houston. I understand this is Believe in Texans, but we die Houston, all right? We are going to die Houston. And let me tell you right now, the national media, they cannot get enough of us. We are always in their mouths. We are always on their minds. Look, man, the Texans are on the come up. I have no problem saying that whatsoever. No doubt in my mind that, and I said this from the get-go. I said it on the spaces that I did with Storm, you, Crumpler. We all said, I said it immediately. When D'Amico got hired and that press conference happened, immediately I said, D'Amico Ryans is going to win us a Super Bowl here in Houston. And Patrick Storm went, okay, calm down. Calm down. No, there's nothing to calm down about. I'm sick and tired of the hate. I'm sick and tired of all of this hate and this disgusting attitude they have towards our city, the city we represent, the city we bleed, the city we live in, the city we work in, from 5 a.m. every day for me till 2 p.m. All right, I do it every day until the weekends. Okay, so I am tired of it. And I know I'm getting on a soapbox here. I know I am. I know I'm getting on a rant, but I absolutely hate it that we gotta, temper the expectations. No, I'm not tempering expectations, damn it. We deserve to be high. We deserve to be optimistic. This team has done almost everything right. They're batting near. What is that? Okay, never mind. That was a washer. Scared the crap out of me. Anyway. Scared the crap out of me. Made me lose the train of thought. Oh my goodness. I was like,
They're batting 1,000.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're betting near 1,000 right now. Why not? Why not have this insane amount of optimism? Why not drink the Kool-Aid? Why not pass it around to your neighbor? Why not pass it around to your buddy? Everyone gets a sip of the Kool-Aid. We all saw it at training camp, and we're going to continue seeing it in the regular season. The Houston Texans are on the come up, man. They're ready. Does it happen this year? No, maybe not. I could see a division. I definitely could. But I have no problem in saying that the Houston Texans with D'Amico Ryans, Jesus, that is loud. With D'Amico Ryans, they are going to win a Super Bowl. Not next year, not the year after, maybe. Who knows? It's got to be a lot of stuff to happen. Texans are on the come up, man.
No, I totally agree, man, and that's why we are gonna spot the fake love from a mile away. You guys know who's been here since the beginning, man. From 7 combined wins in 2 years to everything going south for the Houston Texans. We are definitely on the rise and on the come up, and that's why I'm so excited for tomorrow. I spent the past couple hours just rewatching training camp highlights, rewatching CJ Stroud and Tank Dell's highlights because I see the vision that the Houston Texans put together. I see that they got a veteran for every single position group. For the O-line, it was Laramie Tunsil and Shaq Mason. The tight ends, Dawson Schultz. The secondary, Jimmy Ward. The Houston Texans have done absolutely no wrong so far, right? We all wanted DeAndre Hopkins. We were mad we didn't get him. But then we see the youth, John Mechie, Xavier Hutchinson, Tank Dell, making a play every single training camp. And that scrimmage on Saturday, Tank Dell absolutely took over. No matter who it was at QB, CJ Mills and Keenum, he was converting first downs and had multiple 20-plus yard gains, man. I it is hard not to drink the Kool-Aid, like you said, dude.
It's hard not to, and I'll get off the rant. I'll calm down. I'm sick and tired of it, man. I am. I'm tired of being tempering the expectations. Like this team has done everything, almost everything right this offseason. We're not used to this.
No.
We're not used to the Texans. I mean, when have they made moves like this to where they're almost batting 1,000? Like not only did they sign some solid free agents, but drafted guys that we wanted, which sometimes that's a good, sometimes that's a bad thing. But B, not only did we want, but we've seen the translation on training camp, like Tank Dell. So that's someone every fan wanted, Tank Dell. everyone was crying for Tank Dell. But what we've seen from training camp, it's completely warranted as to why the fans were wanting Tank Dell, why I was wanting Tank Dell, why you were wanting Tank Dell. We've been seeing it constantly at training camp. So the Houston Texans, man, it's good to feel optimistic. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't be shy from it.
Now we move on to the game tomorrow because it's damn near less than 22 hours away. What are some of the positions that you are going to be watching? For me, it is right tackle. As we all know, Titus Howard broke his hand a couple of days ago. George Fant had an up and down training camp practice yesterday. I do believe he will get the start at right tackle, and I would expect the Houston Texans to have him out there for a good chunk of the game. Right, he needs to get acclimated to the rest of the O line, to the playbook. Another one, Juice Scruggs. We were expecting him and Quisenberry to battle for the center spot, but with the injury to him, Juice Scruggs is going to be thrown out there to the Wolves, and we will see a heavy dose of him also.
Yeah, the offensive line is definitely someone that we have to be looking at. Excuse me. But overall, yeah, Scruggs, your right tackle, George Fant, both of them guys, especially Fant. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a balance of both. I want to see what Scruggs can do. He's a rookie, so, the expectations are, slightly high because he's going to be starting. I mean, unless just something happens where a backup center just overtakes that. And I hope it doesn't, because that means Scruggs isn't as good as we've been talking about. But overall, from training camp, he's looked okay. He's looked solid. George Fant, I mentioned in yesterday's live stream. You could also find it on anywhere where you stream all your podcasting platforms on Believe in Texans podcast. But I did mention George Fant 2 years ago was an elite pass blocker with the names of Andrew Whitworth, and I didn't look it up, but there's another name that's elite left tackle, but that he was with in terms of pass blocking grades for PFF. But his run blocking isn't as good. It's about average to below average. So overall, you're getting a decent tackle. I thought it was an underrated move getting him, someone that was very notable guy, working out with other teams, came here to the Texans. Good depth, and now you're going to see what this move is made of immediately. Week 1 against the Ravens, when George Fant should be starting against them, unless Austin Deculus comes out of nowhere, or that's basically it. Because Charlie Heck, I believe, is still out. So the only other right tackle would be Deculus. I don't like his odds, compared to George Fant. So yeah. So that's the offensive line. A position group I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be looking at linebacker. And it feels a little redundant of what I said yesterday. But Blake Cashman, I want to see what Blake Cashman has, and I want to see the defensive line. I got to see my boy Roy Lopez. I got to see what my boy Roy Lopez could do.
How much do you think he plays?
What's going to say to me?
Like, how much do you think he plays?
Oh man, he should get some good playing time. Just because his roster spot isn't
solidified.
I know everyone locally has been clamoring, as well as me and as well as, all of us on YouTube have been saying that Roy Lopez looks to have a spot on this team. Now it's time to prove it. That's the big thing, is we've seen these guys like Blake Cashman too. We've seen them perform well in training camp. Okay, now prove it to me on the field. I've seen many practice guys. I played many sports, and I've seen many practice guys. What are practice guys? Practice guys are guys that, dude, they're practice warriors. They're out there, and you're like, man, this dude needs to be starting. Then the game happens. Complete 180.
Shout out to Pharaoh Brown.
Pharaoh Downtown Brown.
He looked like an all-pro in training camp.
Lestar Jean. Little flashback to OG Texans fans. Lestar Jean in training camp in OTAs was Andre Johnson. And then when he stepped foot on the field, he turned back to Lestar Jean. I love Lestar Gene. He had that size and everything. 7'2" Astros. That's what we're talking about, baby. Oh, yeah. Against the best team in baseball. Anyway, let me get off that. Let me get off that back onto here. But yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see, the notables that are coming out of training camp. I need to see it translate onto the field.
Mm-hmm. Running back is what I am looking to also because
Yeah.
Damian Pierce, I think, might get 4 to 5 carries. I think it's going to be like last preseason. He has about one where he just breaks off for 12, 15. You don't even see anything more for him. Our rookie number 22, Valaday, has made some plays in training camp. I think he broke a couple while we were there. Who is going to be the number 3 running back for the Houston Texans? Because there is also Dare Abungawale, who has looked decent at times. But also, I mean, Devin Singletary, how much are we going to see of him? Another one is the wide receivers. Now I feel like the Houston Texans should mix them up. A heavy dose of Tank, a heavy dose of Nico and Robert Woods. And we really need to see which one of these guys is going to step up and be the number 1 wide receiver for the Houston Texans. Hell, 2 and 3 at that also.
Yeah, to start off with the third running back question, I think your third running back is Mike Boone. He's looked solid in training camp. The thing with Boone, I've seen him in special teams with Frank Ross.
Shout out to Frank
and
Ross.
Frank Ross he's
going to
be
be
a head coach.
Oh,
Yeah, Jinx. Yeah, no, he is going to be a head coach. Frank Ross, I mean, I could play for Frank Ross. He got me excited, and I'm there on the bleachers sweating my ass off. All right? I'm out there going, man, where's my helmet? Let me go in there for
this
you,
man
coach.
screamed, "Get the fuck out of the field!"
Yeah, to an NFL Network camera guy. Man, dude, I mean, he's in the way of his drills. Oh man, he was loud too. Oh man, get that man off the field. Frank Ross, shout out to Frank Ross, man. Mike Boone has been working at the special teams a lot, and as well as Obungawale and Valaday, but not as much as I've noticed with Mike Boone. So that's very handy. If you got a guy that's a third running back that he's really good pass blocker as well, or pass protection. Excuse me. But he's also, helping you out in special teams. Hey, that's what you like to see. So I think Boone could be your third running back. And unless Valaday I don't think Abugawale is going to make this team. Dokes is the other running back who's flashed a little bit at training camp. I think both of those guys are practice squad guys at the end of the day. I think it comes down to Mike Boone and Valaday. And I wonder how many teams have looked at Valaday. Could you get away with stashing him in practice squad this year? Who knows? It's a little bit of a risk unless you want to make him a protected practice squad guy. I forgot how many slots you have for that. I think it's only 5 or 3 or 5, something like that. But then moving to wide receiver, man, I need to see a mix of those. Throw Mechie in there as well. And now I think just up to Mechie and Noah Brown as well. I think you could throw him in there. I'm not going to throw Xavier Hutchinson's name in there just because, and there's nothing against Hutchinson. I know the comments love Xavier Hutchinson. The subscribers, the followers, they love themselves some Xavier Hutchinson. They eat him up all day long. Pause. With that being said, Xavier Hutchinson I like, but I would like to see a rookie translated onto the field. Him and the difference between him and Tank Dell. Tank Dell can also play special teams. Hutchinson, I need to see him as a gunner, which, oh no, I'm going a little too crazy with the expectations. I need to see Hutchinson as a gunner. No, I'm not going to go. I don't want to say it. It'll go too crazy.
Think he has a speed for that?
I'm not quite sure, but he is faster than he looks. And a lot of Iowa State guys were like, oh, well, he's a solid wide receiver, but, and I'm like, but you know what? Because I'm looking at him in camp, and I'm like, okay, he's faster than what you are telling me. He catches everything, keeps the feet in bounds, both feet. A lot of times it's a tough transition for college receivers going into the NFL. He's done everything right. You got him at a good draft value. But like you said, I want to see the mixed crop of wide receivers. Who can claim number one? Who can claim number two? The positions are up there. It's like money in the bank. You want it, go get it. That's an opportunity for you to take the number one spot, number two spot, and the number three spot. We have a feeling who's going to fill those holes. Pause. But ultimately, this man froze on me. Ultimately, we have a feeling who's going to be there, but it still feels like it's empty.
I got a feeling Xavier Hutchinson is gonna be the star of this preseason.
That would be nice.
Man,
That would
his
be nice.
his play from Davis Mills, and shout out to Davis Mills, man. As much slander as we've been giving him, he had a very nice play. Rose to his left, throws it to the sideline. Xavier Hutchinson toe tap, falls down. You can see him. The referee comes in, complete catch. Crowd goes absolutely crazy. And he's made plays with Davis. He's made plays with CJ. He's made plays with Case. And I now understand the hype on Xavier Hutchinson, right? Before I was hearing this is a Nico Collins replacement.
Yeah.
And brother, the past 4 or 5 practices, I see more 19 than I see of 12.
It's true. It's absolutely true.
I am loving what I'm seeing from Xavier Hutchinson. With Tank Dell, Tank Dell's just smooth and he's just special.
Yeah, he's
I
crisp.
think Cole Beasley said, whenever he figures out how to like navigate in zone, he is gonna be deadly. And if he learns how to take a hit correctly, like Tyler Lockett, he'll catch a ball, then immediately fall down. He's gonna last a very long time. But I do agree with you, man. I want to see one of these rookies really step up and show this preseason that they are, they could earn some targets during the regular season. What I am looking for in my franchise quarterback, I need to see a tutty. I need to see something. And someone brought up the RPO earlier. The RPO in practice was looking beautiful. And it was successful the 3 times they ran it. One was a pass to Dalton Schultz. The other one was a run to Damian Pierce, which got about 5 yards. And then the last one was CJ keeping the ball and moving the chains for 10 to 12 yards. I need to see that tomorrow and then just bring him off the field and we could be happy and be, looking forward to the next preseason game.
Yeah, man. Hey, there's nothing wrong with a touchdown from your number 2 overall pick, CJ
A
Stroud.
deep ball touchdown. A play. Look, it's gonna be the old school Gary Kubiak. It's gonna look like an outside run to the right, play action, and who is he gonna find? Nico Collins running up the sideline. Bomb. Tutty.
He does love his deep pass to Nico Collins. He's thrown that consistently at training camp. And sometimes it's misses, but he's just barely off, or he's, a few inches off of Nico Collins' hands, So overall, man, the chemistry he's built with Nico on the deep ball has been pretty interesting to see at training camp. And it seems like the intermediate passes have gone to John Mechie and have gone to
Shout out to Mills Mafia, baby.
Dude, that Mills Mafia is also muted Texans.
Hey,
Twitter,
they're legit. Like, they're real.
They are legit. They want 3 times the yards of Davis Mills. They want 3 times the touchdowns as Davis Mills. It's absolutely crazy what they want. The expectations for CJ is insane from these guys. Get them out of my darn Twitter. Get them out of my life.
From the defense, man, I need to see a quick 3 and out. Actually, I want to see a defense that has so much energy, man. They just keep on going at it, and we saw it a lot throughout training camp, But I'm not really worried about the defense as much. I feel like the defense is, under good hands under head coach D'Amico Ryans, who's had an elite one the past number of years. I'm just excited and wondering what this offense will bring us.
Yeah, man, the defense, it feels like we shouldn't be worried about them, right? I mean, every day in training camp, it's, the defense stole the show. The defense was the main star.
Mhm.
Besides, like maybe 2 days that we were there in training camp, other than that, the defense has just been rock stars. And I don't want to see no rock boys from Jacob Martin. He does a rock boy Selly, I'm cutting him. I'm cutting him. I see a rock boy Selly with Jacob Martin, and he's trying to get the rest of these guys in on that. No, no, no. Shout out to LA Knight. No, no. Get cut him. I don't want it. Get that out of there. That's what does D'Amico say? Energy vampires.
We don't
That
need
that would
them.
that would be Jacob Martin with the Rock Boy Selly. Anyway, the defense, man. Yeah, like I'm saying, man. They've been the rock stars every single time in training camp. So I'm not too worried about it. It feels like maybe that's just a little too much hope I have in the defense. Maybe that's D'Amico Ryans and what he's bringing and the
Mhm.
energy he's brought to this defense. But man, dude, man, it's gonna be great to see when Will Anderson blows up that running back in the backfield.
Dude, if it's a touchdown by CJ and a sack by will
Oh,
have this
can't get any
city
better.
going fucking nuts.
Can you imagine? You can't get any better than that.
Bro, you remember Clowney's game against the Falcons? He blows up the running back, then sacks Matt Ryan. You're thinking this dude's a Hall of Famer.
Man,
Deshaun's first preseason game, right? His touchdown run, and he does the behind the back, and looks flashy going in. We're
stop
screaming
it.
our heads off, thinking,
Stop it.
"Oh, this is Michael Jordan." Man, if our rookies ball out tomorrow, which
That's a drink.
one of them is going to, because they've done it all throughout training camp. They are making plays on both sides of the ball, right? It's Christian Harris looking fantastic. It's Will Anderson having a sack every other single drive, and man, dude, it feels like we deserve this, brother. And like everyone's saying, bro, it's hard not to drink the Kool-Aid with this team, because you see the vision and you see how it could play out, and like you said, we have done nothing so far. Um, Another, I think, battle I'll be looking for is, the backup safeties. What are they
Ooh,
going to be doing?
interesting.
Not a lot of people have been talking about who is going to play after Jimmy Ward and Jalen Petrie. But I think these backup safeties, Eric Murray, MJ Stewart, I wonder what are they going to bring?
That's interesting. I never really thought about the backup safeties. I always looked at it as if they're going to add another defensive back, meaning
Hmm.
cornerback slash safety. I thought it would be either, besides Desmond King, Tavier Thomas. They're so deep at defensive. They're so deep at cornerback, excuse me, that why have Eric Murray out there?
Mm.
Why have MJ Stewart out there? And that's a slight offense to them. But
They could be
I mean,
listening,
Tavier
bro.
Thomas, Shaq Griffin, those two guys, especially that are, 4 or 5 or however you want to slate them at, or Tavier being the second slot guy. Um, Even Desmond King, maybe he plays a little role at safety, and the interchangeability you have between both Jalen and Jimmy, where they can play safety, but they also could go in the box. They
Hmm.
could also guard somebody. Especially Jimmy Ward. He was a former cornerback too. So the versatility, and I hate using that V word because
Shout out to Bill
brings back
O'Brien.
old B vibes. But this is a good thing. This is good versatility. This isn't the moron running the versatility chant. Um, we have versatility with our safeties so much that we saw a little bit of Desmond King play safety last year. How
Hmm.
much do we see that this year? I don't know. But I wouldn't doubt D'Amico and whatever he's cooking up in the lab. I'm all for it. I'm 100% behind him. If he thinks that he could come up with something where Desmond King is back there as a safety, Tavier Thomas is in the nickel, you got, let's say, Jalen at free safety or whatever, or strong safety, King at free, and Jimmy Ward's in the box. Ooh, ooh, I like that. I like that. I'm just The secondary is so deep, cornerback wise, that I'm not really looking at the backup safety.
Mm. No, I totally agree, man. Like, and then Devin said cuts are going to be brutal this year, and I absolutely
Yeah.
agree because outside of a few positions, it feels like these spots are up for grabs. I could easily see Henry Tua just balling out in this preseason and getting some conversations about should we give him the starting, a starting spot. Um, you know, I think that the slot cornerback position is still up for grabs between Desmond King and
Yeah.
Tavier Thomas. Tavier Thomas, not only does he look like a freak of nature, but he has been just locking people down. And dude, like the competition, oh snap, the competition is so much more than what we've seen from many of the past Houston Texans teams. And as we're coming to an end to this stream, Harley, it is your birthday, man.
Hey, what I want for my birthday? All right, no, wait a minute. Nah, man, I appreciate it, my guy. It is my birthday today. I
How
had
old
a
are you,
lot of
brother?
fun. Thanks, my guy. Thanks. I had a lot of fun. Ate some good barbecue at the pit room.
Mm.
Nice, solid barbecue. Solid. Really good. I appreciate everyone with the happy birthday wishes. August 9th is the day for me. So yeah, man, it's been a lot of fun, a lot of good times. I'm 26.
Ooh,
Goodness gracious.
dude,
I feel old.
30's tough. Like,
Stop.
dude,
I'm 40 basically.
dude, don't even get me started, brother.
Dude.
It's
Like 70's right around the corner.
man, dude, shout out to you, Harley. I've known Harley for about 10 years, man. My my
Yeah.
my my earliest memory of Harley, he was the upperclassman and he got his buddies together, and I was the lower classman and I got my buddies together, and we went back outside of Yes Prep and we had a flag football game for a case of Gatorades. However, the case of Gatorades never came and we just looked dumb out there, but
Oh, dude, fuck.
it was one of the first of many battles between my squad and Harley's squad. Now, couple of years later, man, we're on the Believe in Texans podcast, and make sure you guys check that out on Spotify because we are now, I think, 23, 24 episodes deep, and as the season is coming, the episodes are going to keep on dropping as well. We want to give you guys predictions, we want to give you guys reactions, and up to date information about the Houston Texans. You have to follow Harley at the lead_Houston. Get this guy to 4K. His birthday present, his late birthday present is him waking up tomorrow and seeing that 4. I am Ruben Calvillo. Just type in 713 Houston Sportcast in the search bar. I don't know if we're going to go live tomorrow. I might go live during the game,
Mm.
watch that with the fans. So if you guys are, well, I'll let y'all know if I do it or not. But if y'all want to slide through during the live and watch the game with me, that'll be fun as well. But this was another fire episode of Believe in the Houston Texans. You guys have a very safe night and a blessed night at that.